You are looking at the football field on the campus of Garden City High School, where today in Western Lakes Junior Football League action, Omni Edition Sports is proud to bring you varsity football, the Garden City Cougars versus the Northville Stallions. I'm Ted Fournier along with Phil Henry. And Phil, Garden City coming in here looking for their first game victory. They're going to kick off, and these are the big boys playing, the 12 and 13-year-olds.
Yeah, this should be lots of fun today. This is the third game in a row, and the Garden City Cougars have yet to win a game, so it's going to be up to the varsity, Ted, here to get them off the schneid.
A little onside kick taken over at the 42-yard line up to the 48, where the Northville Stallions will take the ball. We saw the junior varsity earlier, and they ran out of an old-fashioned straight T formation. Garden City, the JV, played a more wide-open passing game in the spread formation, so let's see what happens here.
Well, sometimes simpler is better, Ted, and you can just overcomplicate a very easy thing, and so let's see what the varsity has up their sleeve when they go on the offense. They're right now in the first series of downs going to be on the defensive side of the ball.
Trips to the north side in the pistol formation. Northville, long count, nice hike, a little flare pass, caught behind the line of scrimmage and tackled behind the line of scrimmage as number 16 caught the ball. Long count, nice hike for Levington. Yeah.
Tyler Boss took the hike from the pistol formation, Ted, and basically that was a lateral from our angle. We were straight down the line of scrimmage, if you will, and it looked like it was a lateral, but it was handled and tackled for a loss on the first play of the game for the Cougars.
Boss, the quarterback, he's going under center this time. Split formation in the backfield. Two receivers to this side, one in the slot. To pitch out. It caught deep in the backfield, being chased and tackled for a huge loss. And let's see, 21 is on the tackle.
21 on the tackle.
McDaniel on the tackles. He was in the backfield as soon as the pitch out, and he tackles him for a long loss.
And that was Rothwell coming from the split formation right there. We had the quarterback Voss was under center on that one, and they handed it off to Rothwell, trying to get off the outside. Great pursuit, and reeled down for another loss. Very impressive so far on this opening series had by the Garden City defense, as they've now switched, and a Stallion jumped the count. Jack Spangler there was a little overactive, and it's going to be 5 yards.
They come out in a little split eye formation.
Running
back and a slot receiver and a receiver on the north side of the far side of the formation.
Well, that time, you saw the whole Garden City Cougar defense, except for a couple of linebackers, shift positions, and then that forced the wide receiver to jump off there. He thought something was going on.
25 yards to go for the first down. Ball is inside the 35, down at almost the 33. They got to go to the 41 of the Cougars for a first down, and they call a little quarterback sneak, and that's going to pick up a couple yards and get us some grass stains on the uniforms, but that's about it. As Boss heads out, and let's see if they're going to go forward. We get a wholesale, the punting team's coming out. Let's see who's going to go out and punt this ball.
And on that tackle for the Cougars, they were not fooled whatsoever. Sometimes those plays, Ted, can be successful, but in this case it was Cody Holbert, number 66, from the tackle position, just held his position like you should as a defender, and the quarterback came right to him, and he drove him into the turf.
And no, they're not going to punt. Grant Hood is back there, so he's not really deep. He's inside the 30 at the 26, gets the ball away quick. The ball is going to be taken at the 39 and dropped. And back at the 36, it's fallen on. Good heads-up play, 21, McDaniel.
Yeah, that was Chase McGraw. He was deep on that punt, Ted, and that punt had a knuckleball kind of float to it out there, and he tried to grab it with his hands. The classic of taking off and running it before he actually reeled that ball in. Luckily, there was another man back there to fall on it for the Cougars. And they'll be in business 1st and 10 here in their first series of downs in the first quarter, scoreless.
Hunter Waynick, number 10's the quarterback. He is the smallest. Is that number 10 there? Make sure I got it.
It's either 10 or 12.
Hand off to the deep back out of the eye. He cuts across for 2. It looks like number 10, Hunter Waynick, and he is the lightest guy in the squad, 94 pounds.
Well, this is the 3rd year of playing quarterback for Hunter Waynick, and he's been always the smallest guy on the field there, Ted, and he likes that quarterback position. Now he's starting for the varsity.
13 years old, be at the high school next year.
Yes, he will. All 94 pounds of him.
Well, let's hope he makes it. I'll send him 6 pounds of ho-hos or something. Veer for him is one back to pass. He arches it out there. 2 receivers. McDaniel over the shoulder catches it, gets down inside the 25, almost down to the 21. As that was a beautiful pitch and catch there. Waynick to McDaniel.
Yeah, and it was a really great spiral right there, and that ball traveled about some 20 yards in the air, and there we go. Right there we see our sideline camera as they're reeling in on McDaniel. Nice job of hanging on to that ball, Ted.
Garden City threatening here early in the game. The Stallions have real tight veer formation this time. McDaniel gets the ball as he comes across the formation, cuts in, cuts back outside, spins, still on his feet, fighting hard, still on his feet. Finally they knock him down as he gets it down to about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, that's hard running right there by David McDaniel, and he did a great job getting to the outside, but you saw he kept those legs going, Ted. He did a great job, and then the Northville defender tried to get him high, and that's usually not a way to tackle somebody. And then the spin move, you got to like that. That's an old Power Rangers move. You know, this kid probably grew up watching the Power Rangers. They had the spin move, and he patented that and got a couple extra yards for Garden City.
You have way too much time on your hand there. Garden City inside the 20 in the red zone here. Back to pass, the throw into the corner. Incomplete.
And that's going to be number 12 on the receiving end, Jordan Garcia. Once again, Waynick goes back. He doesn't have a lot of height to really see over Ted, but he's got a really nice arm. He put that ball up in the air, got a lot of air underneath of it, and was allowing Garcia to come, to the ball, and it was just a little bit overthrown.
McDaniel back into the game, number 21. He was on the sidelines that play. McDaniel looks a lot bigger than he's listed. He's listed at 124 pounds, but he looks like a lot bigger. Handed off and tackled in the backfield. So 2 plays that have not got much yardage. And is that going to be 4th down? Yes, it is. 4th down. Ball is at the. Let's double check this.
Looks like the ball's going to be at about the 22, 23-yard line. Ted, they actually went backwards about 10 yards because that first play, McDaniel got them 5 yards, and they brought up 2nd and 5, and then the last 2 plays have taken them backwards.
They're going to go kick a field goal here. Number 7 is going to hold it. That's McGraw.
83, Nick Janice to attempt the field goal.
Ball's placed. It's no good. So Garden City gets a huge gain to McDaniel, gets in the red zone, and then a incomplete pass and a loss, missed field goal. So opportunity lost here in the first quarter and still no score.
Well, you had to like a lot of things that you saw right there on their first possession, Ted. Then they can certainly improve on that as this game goes along. Hunter Waynick, really his 3rd year of quarterbacking for the Cougars, showed a lot of nice tight spiral, and then the big play to McDaniel that covered some 30 yards. And I think there's going to be big things tonight. This looks like it could be an offensive affair.
Ball on the 20.
And a pitch back going wide to the right, and he's met picks up 2 or 3 yards.
Matthew Escada with the carry.
That's Escada right there. He has a number that a linebacker usually wears, Ted, and that was just the old student body right there. The pitch was out to the outside. Escada got his shoulder squared up with the line of scrimmage and a nice head of steam. So a great defensive job as there's a penalty marker down that may take this one off the pot.
They're holding
and put it,
on the offense.
Yes, holding.
10 yards
Gonna
from the
put it
spot of the foul.
backwards.
First down.
Number 12, Williams, was the quarterback.
Holding is the call.
Williams was still in there at quarterback, number 12. This time it's going to be first down. And they're going to put the ball inside the 10 around the 9-yard line.
Ball spotted on their own 10-yard line.
So that holding call really puts Northville in the hole here to start this drive. Let's see what they're going to run. They have split backfield, 1 receiver to the near side. Williams under center. He takes it, pitches it out, a reverse, coming to the far side, and he breaks 1 tackle, picks up about 5. He's going to get up near the 15.
That was 26, Enzo Rodriguez. He was split out in the flanker spot right there, Ted, and he come back. You know, you would think they were going to be conservative down there. A great play call by the Northville Mustangs, or Stallions, and Garden City was up to the challenge. And in plays like that, the number one thing that they're going to teach is to stay home. And we see right here comes Rodriguez, and he looks for a spot to go, and it was a great come from behind tackle right there.
Well, the outside linebacker looked like he had containment, and he forced the play inside where all his friends were. Another handoff going to the far side. Does pick up a block. He breaks open. He's in the open. It's going to be a foot race. Midfield 40, 30, 20, 10, and he's going to go all the way for a touchdown as Northville drives. Well, they got down to the 9-yard line, so they went 91 yards on that, and they score a touchdown. And that was a simple sweep, and we see a flag on. I don't know who celebrated, but that's 6-0 right now.
Well, Ted, if I could walk that far, I'd be celebrating. 85-yard run, just a classic play right there. That was an in-sweep. You know, Ted, we've seen that be successful many times over many different levels of football. And here it was right there on the Cougars, just when the Cougars had them right where they want them, playing a battle of field position, you know, here early on in this first quarter of action. And then the end sweep right there changes
Sportsmanlike
everything.
conduct after the touchdown. Unnecessary celebration. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Well, some might say that the No Fun League is far-reaching, Ted. Get down here to these young guys, and
I listened to it might have been Bob Costas in the last 2 weeks, and he said basically if you're not taunting your opposition as you see the replay, and basically it wasn't a contest once he got to about the 35-yard line. The next 65-yard line was a parade into the end zone.
And we're going to see the excessive celebration. Oh, we just cut it off before the excessive celebration that we would like to have seen there. But go ahead. You were finish up on the Bob Costas remarks.
Well, I'll say it right after this extra point. Number 2 is going to try for a 2-point conversion. It's up, and it is... They called it. I'm watching the referee, and I didn't see him go. But basically, Bob Costa said, if you're not taunting the opposition, I mean, you work hard. I mean, that touchdown is produced by, 8 weeks of work. And the kid gets into the end zone, and the team celebrates. And as long as you're not pointing at the opposition and making fun of them, it's a sports, for heaven's sake. Have some fun,
Well, this penalty is going to be assessed on the kickoff right here, so it's going to give the Cougars some good field position. But, absolutely, they could run that play 100 times in practice, Ted, and score on it 100 times, and it's not going to be as fun and exciting as doing it in a live game. And, we cut the replay off just a little bit premature there before we saw this so-called excessive celebration. But somewhere Roger Goodell is probably smiling, saying, okay, we've got our thumb on them, you know, way down there in the, you know,
Well,
8th and 9th graders.
That has nothing to do. It's the $44 million he made last year. Which is basically the same salary that Dan's paying us to do this game today. So the ball is going to be kicked from the 25. So the Cougars should get excellent field position.
Well, it's going to be real important to see how they respond here, Ted. Garden City was playing the field position game right there as they took their opening drive in that first quarter and got down into the red zone before they were pushed back, and then they turned it over right there on a missed field goal, and another one gets by McDaniel.
Grant Hood with a nice kickoff, taking it to 22, gets over the 25 up to the 30, and that's where the Cougars will take the ball here to begin their second possession.
And following up there, once a missed field goal by Garden City, then that's where the Stallions took over. And the first play that they did, they ran a double reverse, you know, right basically into the end zone. So it probably should send a message to the Cougars that this was going to be anything but a normal played game. And then, of course, the big 85-yard touchdown run on the right-hand side there by Enzo Rodriguez. So the excessive celebration, really, Ted, because that was a great kickoff. The nice end-over-end kick. The ball hit, bounded back, got past McDaniel, and so really no harm, no foul on the excessive celebration.
Well, Hood's got himself a position on probably the Northville football team for the next 4 years with that leg. Waynick under center, veer formation, turns around, hands it off to the McDaniel's coming back, and he has a big first down run as he picks up about 12. But that's a basic veer play where the quarterback turns around and hits it on the counter running slot back, and he picks up 12 yards.
Yeah, very intricate play right there. It's all on timing, Ted. You know, the linemen are doing their blocks, and then the first is a fake handoff to the first back through, and then this back actually cuts from the quarterback's right-hand side, and nice job, nice handoff.
And we have movement, and you know, sometimes teams cannot deal with success.
Start on the offense.
Looked like
5-yard
it was
penalty.
Chase McGraw, number
Still
7,
first down.
kind of fell backwards there if that was him. Number 2, Westbrook, was over there also.
So Waynick looks into the coach and says, hey, you want me to do the same play?
Well, that's a good point, Ted, right there about the success. You know, you just ripped off a nice 12-yard gain on first down, and then second down you gave back 5 yards of it, you know. So it's really important when as you move up the levels that you've got to be tight out there.
Ian Will comes into the game for the Cougars. He counters out to the slot back from the left. He doesn't pick up but maybe a yard or two, does not get back to the first down. Wayne comes back in, quick call. Everybody's got to play in the game. 5 plays each half. 12 and 13-year-olds. These are the big guys. There's guys out there as little as 94 pounds and as big as 191. So there's a handoff to number 7. He stops, cuts inside, tries to go back, still on his feet, and he's thrown back. Let's see if they give him his forward progress. And the linesman is giving him, looks like he's giving him the 40. Now he takes 2 steps back, and they're going to say he backed out and tried to go a different direction, so he does not get to 40. He gets up to about the 37.
And right now the defensive line play for the Stallions seems to be the dominant position on this on the field right now. That defensive line is really getting off the blocks of the Garden City linemen and stay in their positions, and Garden City right now has been kind of stymied these last 3 or 4 plays.
They're down in a 3-4 defense. Mass confusion in the backfield as everybody ran into everybody. They had a man in motion, and he stopped short, and that was basically like a clog.
Well, and what you're seeing right now is if this is kind of the old rope-a-dope technique, where all the plays, like you said, Ted, are happening real close proximity to the quarterback, right behind the quarterback. So that's allowing the Stallions to have 8, 9, 10 men right in the box down there to stop those plays, and they've been doing an effective job of it. Need to spread the field out a little bit.
4th and 11. Back to pass. Overthrows the intended receiver. I thought he might have had that block, but he got the ball away.
That's Jordan Garcia.
Jordan Garcia was the intended receiver. And do we have some more laundry?
Yes, we do down there. There's going to be in the area pass interference, and I think they're going to call this on the Stallions. That ball was thrown just perfectly down there. And you see lots of air underneath that ball, and just at the last second, the defender, I think what happened is that he got his hand on the ball, but he put his other hand on the shoulder of the receiver to get that extra height.
Being that the penalty occurred during the last time play of the quarter, there'll be one untimed down.
All right, so basically there was a last play that occurred on the first quarter, so there's going to be one untimed down here. First down, 10, as the ball is now spotted. The refs are on the 45-yard line. Okay, now they're moving the markers. I think the sideline chain gang is setting up for the second quarter. Ball's on the 45-yard line, and they have to get down to the 35 for a first down. And so the chains were setting up for the second quarter, but we got one untimed down here. Waynick under center. He right up the gut and stopped after gaining a 2, and that'll be the end of the first quarter.
74, Waldon with the carry.
And
That's the
Northville
end of the first quarter.
on a long touchdown run. They lead 8-0 here at the end of the first quarter.
Well, very fast played first quarter, Ted. It started out with Garden City kicking the ball off to the Stallions and really holding them at bay. Then they got their offensive opportunity and took the ball into the red zone. That's where the Stallions stiffened right there and pushed them back. There was an unsuccessful field goal attempt of some 40 yards, so a very ambitious field goal attempt by Garden City, but they did let it go over on downs on the missed field goal. And then 3 plays into their drive, Ted, 85 yards did Enzo Rodriguez go around the right side in. And I think once he was about 20 yards into that run, I think he went the rest of the way untouched, some 70 yards untouched practically.
Well, he kept looking around for somebody to get near him, and he just kept getting further and further away. And it was a long run, 85-yard run, so he's already got a great day. I mean, 2 more runs and he'll be over 100.
So as we start the second quarter with Garden City trailing 8-0, what we've seen on this set of downs right here was a big fourth down. They went for it all, Ted, and they got the pass interference, so that kept this drive alive. And now starting out the second quarter, still going to be Hunter Wayneck at quarterback. And, once he starts filling out, we've seen him now his 3rd year here. He throws a really nice spiral, seems to have a real nice touch on the football. And once he starts, gets that growth spurt where he can start seeing over some of these lines of scrimmage, he looks like he could be an effective quarterback moving forward for Garden City.
Well, he's not afraid to pass. He's not afraid to stand in the pocket. And he's wearing that number 10. We've seen that in the Cougar uniform. Remember Tyler Steele there?
Tyler Steele, absolutely.
There's big number 45 getting the ball, and he's still on his feet over the 35, gets down to the 33, and what a run.
James Deese on the carry right there. He's the 191-pounder you were alluding to earlier, Ted. And boy, from just that I formation, single back in the backfield, Hunter Wayneck under center, handed it off to him, and he just kept powering his way to a great first down pickup.
Watch this. He just bullies his way down there, and it's like, okay, you're not going to put me down. I'd wear him out today. He's a mismatch. I don't care where you put him. Get him the ball. He's a mismatch.
You're absolutely right.
Look at the arms on him. He got the ball again. He's trying to go wide, and they've got 3 guys, and they kind of hold him up, and then everybody falls together. But he's a big, huge guy back there.
Well, you're right. He couldn't really get going on that particular run right there, Ted. Number 50, Matthew Escada, had tremendous penetration from the defensive line and got that shoulder around his shoulder pads and was hanging on for dear life. But I think that's the second time he's carried the ball, and that's the first time he's been tackled. The other time they just blew the officials blew the whistle and stopped the play.
Second down, ball at the 36-yard line. He's got the ball, heading for the, and a nice leg tackle. What a nice tackle back up there at the 39-yard line, as he just couldn't quite get to the corner. He looks like he's the type of runner that his advantage is north and south, not east and west. If you just bury him running up the line, he's going to get more yardage, and he's going to try, he doesn't maybe have the speed to get to the outside.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, Ted. And, whether he's got the moves, too, once he gets out there, as number 20, Alex Karam, really did a terrific job and did exactly, that was textbook right there, regardless of which side you're watching on. That was a textbook tackle. Grab him around the legs and don't let go. And there his arm is on display now, Ted.
And he overthrows the intended receiver down at the 15-yard line, and that's number 12.
Garcia.
Garcia was well covered, but they tried for the halfback pass, and here you watch this, it's about a yard, maybe 2 yards too long.
Well, at his height, he has tremendous field vision right there, Ted, and that was just another nice play after you've ran him a couple of times, and now you pitch back to him. So that gives the Northville Stallions an awful lot to think about when he's in the backfield.
Little counter play, and he goes wide, breaks a tackle, and comes across the 35-yard line, but he tackled at the 34, well short of the first down. So they had to get down to the 24. And, I'm just thinking with big 45 in the backfield, I'm thinking, I never knew what Larry Zonka looked like as a kid, but
that would be him. As we see the tail end of that last run by McDaniel right there, you saw how McDaniel really used his superior athletic ability to turn that forward and get extra yards out of there, Ted. He was stopped in the backfield. He just wouldn't give up on that play and charge forward for the Cougars. Unfortunately, not enough for the first down.
It looks like the Cougars actually have an outside-inside. At 45, you run him inside. And 21, you can run outside. So we'll see what happens as the game progresses. Back to pass, the throw. Receiver is wide open at the 50. Breaks a tackle. 40. He's got nobody to beat. They're going to try to get him down to, and he's into the end zone. I thought maybe they had an angle on him, but he was wide open on that catch, Bill.
Absolutely. It was a 64-yard or 66-yard touchdown pass, and that ball looked to me like when it was thrown up, it was held up by a little bit of the wind. I thought potentially that was a great pass right there for the defense to really recover, but they just were unable to right there. Once Escada reels it in right there, that's a missed tackle, and he is off to the races.
He broke one tackle, and then I thought the safety might have had an angle on him, and I had to look around a box over here to see.
Well, and right there, another huge play by the Stallions now as they're going to attempt to stretch their lead. Now they're at 14-0. This kick is worth 2 points at this level.
Hood. I'm telling you, that Hood has got a leg. There's a lot of high school teams would like to have him on the team right now, and it's now 16-0. Did he miss it? Yeah. He missed it.
Wow.
But he's got a leg. That one went deep into the end zone.
Yeah, I think, I've never seen a kicker miss it because he kicked it too long, but that was probably an example there because from our vantage point, it looked like it was dead center. And there's a great shot right there. Ted, why don't you give him a little wave out the window there? The fans back at home can kind of see you. as he
the,
flips the peace sign.
That cameraman right there, the Pro cameraman. The scoreboard says 14-0. I thought it was good. Oh, it's 16. They finally put it up there.
Yeah,
so
they
it was
did.
Good.
Well, they were waiting to retrieve that ball. He kicked it so high and so long that somebody, a fan down there on Beechwood, right by Ford Road, had to bring the ball back.
He kicked it. So 2 huge long plays, one a passing play, one a sweep run play of 85 yards. There's 150 yards of offense in 2 plays. Northville, 2 quick hitters. They lead 16-0. And watch Hood now. He's going to kick from the 40. And I bet you he gets that ball close to the end zone. Let's see.
Well, you know, at this level right here, he looks like a kicker. Just the way he carries himself out there, Ted. And there's a great vantage point right there. I'm looking at him, putting it right through those uprights.
He kicks it short, taken and dropped back to the 15. Coming around to the 20, he's not going to. Well, he does make it to the 20 and hit, but he kicked that one short. Remember when he kicked the ball from the 25-yard line, the ball got down to the 20. So
absolutely, he really put himself into that one and used a little bit of the breeze. So now Garden City is going to be starting right about the 20-yard line. Is on a big play right there. That was Blake Nowicki for the Stallions, and he got a hold of McDaniel before McDaniel could really get a good head of steam going. So trailing 16-0, the Cougars are going to be on the attack. They've gone with Hunter Wayneck at quarterback and started to show some variations, and off of that, as Wayneck will come back in, and we're going to look for number 45, Deese, and see what they do with him on this set of downs, Ted.
Well, Wayne coming in. I'd like to see him pound one out here. They need to establish their offense. Deese is the tailback. They have 2 slot backs on the far side. Hand it off to Deese. Deese runs off the tackle. He's got 5. He's trying to cut to the outside. He's still on his feet, and he's over the 30 to the 33, and he's got first down yardage to pick up about 13.
Yeah, Ted, you called it right there. He is definitely a north-south runner, and I think that's what they'll coach him up when they show him that particular replay, as we see right here. Now, right here, he went too far to the outside and was able to be hemmed in right there. But I think had he just kept his shoulders, squared up with the end zone and kept moving forward, we'd probably still see him on the march.
He's back. The single back in the backfield, and he gets a pitch again. He's trying to get the corner, and once again he's tackled inside short of the 30.
And that's Matthew Escada, number 50. We just saw him reel in that 66-yard touchdown pass, number 50 right there. Once again, he's getting penetration, Ted, and, those type of plays, that one was a little bit slow developing. When anytime you're going to go around one of the ends right there, you're going to be a little bit slow developing in this case, and it allowed just nobody got a hat on number 50 coming from the outside linebacker position, and he was able to slow down Deese until a host of Stallions could bring him in.
Deese is, I was going to remark on the play previous to this, as he stopped and allowed contact to come to him. He's got to learn to initiate the contact. Back to is that 74 in the backfield, and he doesn't get to the line of scrimmage.
Sure is. Josh Walbom, number 74, and he's trying to show a little bit of moves right there, and I think you're hitting it right on the head. There was a couple of times that we saw Deese slow down like that. I think once he gets his stride, and the key thing, Ted, is that they're going to have to stretch the defenders out. They can't allow those 8 guys in that box right there. And that's where Deese is going to come in. That's where he's going to do most of his heavy work, is right up the middle. And then, but they've got to get the defense to be spread out. Either do that through formation or through running of some plays that way with the proper personnel.
Well, Deese is not in there at the moment. Waynick turns around. runs into the back that he was going to give the ball to on the counter, as the back actually, instead of waiting for the Wainick to get back there, he left and they ran into each other and kind of stopped each other.
Well, on that one, if you watch the defenders right there, as soon as Garden City got into their formation, the linebackers made an adjustment. It's almost like they were in the backfield, Ted, and they knew exactly what play was coming. So they're reading something in Garden City's formation, allowing them to make a last-second adjustment and being in the right place, and bringing these bringing these running backs down before they have a chance to get started.
Well, it's hard to believe, but at this level, there are. I mean, tonight these coaches are going to be exchanging film, and by Monday they'll know each other's tendencies for next week. So we have a punting formation. Punter Stin back at the 20-yard line. He puts a foot to it up the shaft. Ball is going to hit and roll across the 50. It's still rolling. Garden City favor. Gets down to the 46. And that's where the Stallions will take over.
Well, you see for the 4:30 mark, I think this will be the second time that the Stallions have had the football here in the second quarter. The first time they had it, first play went 66 yards via air and then land. Of course, that's a pitch and catch or a 66-yard touchdown pass, whatever you want to call it.
Tyler Voss is the quarterback this series. He's back in. Power I, receiver to the far side. Long count, turns around, hands it to the counterback, and he falls across the 45 and probably just a hair short of the original line of scrimmage. And now the wholesale changes come in here. Let's see if number 20. Number 8. Christian Williams looks like he's going to be the quarterback.
Christian Williams.
He's checking his arm to see what the play is.
The center, like he says, I got it. And you know, Ted, you played center as a young man.
Yes, I did. And once I knew the count, I didn't need to know the rest of the play. Little pitch out to 26. He breaks one tackle, tries to cut inside, and he's held up nicely. Number 50, little curricular activities there. 64 on the tackle for Garden City.
That was Castogne, number 28, that did a nice job reeling in Enzo Rodriguez. We've seen Rodriguez take off. He's the one that has the 85-yard touchdown run, so he's a threat from any spot on the field. And Jay Castogne did a nice job getting onto his leg and not letting go until he got some help from the other Cougars.
Cameron Richardson was in on the tackle. And out to the lone back, he goes into Garden City territory down to the 45.
That's Staticus.
Williams still at quarterback. He's got the play, comes into the huddle.
It's fourth down right here, Ted. This is a big play, 4th and 3 for the Cougars. Time's running out in this first half. They still have 3 timeouts left if they get the ball back.
The power I to the right side. This side gives it to the back on the counter. Cuts inside 40. He's broke over 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Northville. Too easy.
Rodriguez again, he's got a 45-yarder now to go with his 85-yarder. And yeah, he did. He broke a couple tackles there, Ted. The play once again was a little slow getting started, but once he got his shoulder squared up with the end zone, he doesn't seem to have, you know, super fast speed from up here. He may be deceptively fast, Ted, but he just gets going, and then right there he just waltzes into the end zone.
He's not really sprinting, it's gliding in. It's a really nice gait. It's deceptively fast, but he runs so smooth. And Hood is going to try, let's see how far he kicks this one. And that one's good. So it's 24-0 here in the second quarter. And all the touchdowns have been for long distance.
Well, you're exactly right, and Rodriguez has 2 of them right now, and he's got an 85-yard run in that first quarter that got the Stallions on the board first, and then the 66-yard touchdown pass to Matthew Escada. You know, he covered that, probably the last 50 yards untouched, and now a 45-yarder by Rodriguez. So Rodriguez has 2 long touchdown runs today, 130 yards in rushing just in those 2 plays. And we're going to have some sit-outs over there. Ted, you can describe what's going on to the
well, one of the great things
south
about
end of the field.
One of the great things about this
Penalties
league
decline,
is that
the
when
point
one
after is
team
good.
starts dominating and they get up 18 points, I think it's 7 or 8 players. The opposing coach can give a list of 7 players they want to sit, and they can't get back into the game. Sometimes the strategy is you sit down the first and second string quarterback, and you sit down the first and second string center, and you try to do it that way. But other players, you know, you put the biggest players on the sideline and they sit out, and it makes the game more competitive.
Well, you got to sit out number 26. He has 2 touchdowns. And probably the kicker, when would you ever set a kicker out with a weapon like Hood, needs to be sat down.
Well, Hood looks like a young man with a future, because if you got that kind of leg at 8th grade and you kick for 4 years and work out, you know, there's a bunch of colleges want people that can kick the ball.
Yeah, he looks like he's been studying.
Those helmets have to stay away from the players. They call it, our director's calling it helmet purgatory.
So that represents the
well, that way they can't
players.
go in without their helmets. They just put their helmets down there and they stay with the rest of the team.
The 8 players signified there by helmet purgatory that cannot be in. So there's 1:24. The clock is running. Garden City has all of their timeouts, Ted. I think it's important, you know, to get on the field. They've got great field position right here at the 42-yard line. Hunter Wayneck's gone in. They're using that tight formation. I just think they need to get away from that.
And there's a break over the left guard tackle, and he gets down to the 40-yard line. Number 13 brings him down. Is Jack Rathwell.
That was Joshua Walbaum right there. Just as I said, I think they need to break out of that formation. Once again, I'm looking to spread
Garden
that
City.
defense out a little bit. They're bunching in, and that was just a terrific set of blocks over on the left side of the line. Right there, you see a gaping hole as Walbaum, really a nice stiff arm right there. Number 13 did a great job hanging on. Took a little stiff arm and you know, got a hold of some jersey. Just reached out and got a hold of Josh Walbaum's jersey, and that he looks a lot bigger than 137 pounds.
1:02 on the clock. A nice score here for Garden City. Sure make halftime a lot easier with some momentum. Garden City's ready to go. 41, Ryan Reed, the center, is ready to go, and they're waiting for the Stallions. I guess they're going to wind up going back to the huddle as here come the Stallions.
The last second adjustment by the Garden City coach.
They have moved Deese. He looks like he's right, either a tight end now or the tackle on that far side. I think he's the tackle.
Well, let's hope it's tackle eligible.
Little handoff cut inside across the 40 down to the 37, 38 yard line, and he's tackled right there.
Trevor Quatlander right
Time
there.
out.
That was more
Garden
like
City.
a
Second
flanker
timeout.
reverse right there as Quatlander came into motion, was handed off the ball, and then was trying to pick his way. He actually got turned up and did pick up about 3 or 4 yards on the first down.
It looks like they've decided that Deese can do a better job blocking, and they've moved him to the line at the tackle spot.
Well, you got Josh Walbum, you know, is going to be back there in the backfield, and you know, he's big on size also. Number 21, we've seen David McDaniel with the ball a few times, and now that was our first look at number 3, Quatlander, running from the flanker position. All of these have been handed off by Hunter Waynick.
Clock running out here in the first half. Man goes in motion and the Stallion goes offside. So,
well, that's huge
Dead
right
ball.
here. You know, that's
Encroachment
5 big
on
yards
the
with
defense.
52 seconds to go,
5-yard
Ted.
penalty.
And now you're
Still
going to be
second
right
down.
about at the 32-yard line. So very, very big mistake by the Stallions.
hand off. 74 gets down to the 30, 29, and that's where he's getting tackled.
Josh Walbum right there coming off right tackle and following the block over there by Deese.
Timeout, Garden City. That's your final timeout.
Picked up the first down. Ball now resting on the 25 or 30-yard line.
42-9 on the clock. Still 2 timeouts left for Garden City.
It's been a very efficient drive right here, Ted. They got the ball with about a minute and a half to go before the end of the half. They're trailing 24-0, so they've been very efficient on this drive. Now it's very important to finish it off with points.
24-8 would be a lot nicer than 24-0 going into halftime. 3 huge plays for Northville. 45, 65, and 85. Is that in the, I think those are the yardages.
Yeah, 85, 45, and 66.
Deese loses the handle. Northville comes up, so this drive is going to be stopped by a fumble.
And that might have been a missed call right there because Deese did not even look like he was ready to get the ball. Waynick definitely laid it in there, and it just bounced right out, and there was a real quick response to the ball on the ground by the Stallions, and they covered it up instantly. That was a huge turnover right there. Every turnover is always big, Ted, but that particular one really hurt. They were driving. They had timeouts. They had the clock in their favor. They were at the 30-yard line, and you put the ball on the ground, and the Stallions recovered it. You just got to be careful right here. The Stallions have been very dangerous in these long plays.
Northville's got 3 timeouts left. Fred Karam's the coach. We're going to watch this play as it was just, he kind of reached back there to give him the ball. And like you said, I don't think Deese really expected it. .31-3 on the clock. 2 more timeouts. Northville has scored on some big plays. The ball is on the 30, so that would be 100 minus 30, 0 from 0, 0, 3 from carry the 7 to 1. Okay. 70 yards, Phil.
All right. Nice job. As we see a great shot of the cheerleaders today, and it is Ribbon Day. They got the ribbons in their hair and doing a little dance. You know, one of the great playlists of all time, Kevin Kramus over there, the head announcer for these games, and he's got a playlist, I'll tell you what, that would rival something Keith Richard would have.
Stallions, 1st and 10 at the 30. And it looks like calling a timeout. Oh, there's a confusion. Big Hole picks up 4 quick ones. Let's see if they're going to let the clock run over. This is going to be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to run out before. So the first half is going to come to a close here.
Well, the Stallions, 3 quick, long plays, one of 45, one of 65, and one of 85, plus 3 extra points, and it's 24-0 at halftime. Omni Edition Sports will be back with the exciting second half of this Western Lakes Junior Football League contest.
Okay, so we drowned the fire.
Yep.
Stirred it. Drowned it again. And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. Already posted it.
I was the lucky one. When I was drowning in a Lake Michigan rip current, 2 brave strangers in a kayak saved my life. But far too many people aren't that lucky. So what I want to do now is help you avoid rip currents by checking with the National Weather Service or the beach for warnings. If you're caught in the grip of a rip current, flip, float, and follow the current until you can break free. And before you try to save someone else, save yourself by grabbing a flotation device. Learn more by Googling rip current safety.
You've probably received one of these in the mail, the Juror Questionnaire, which may have found its way here. Next time, don't throw it away. Ignoring your summons is illegal, and you could end up in jail. To streamline the juror selection process, the Third Circuit Court Questionnaire is now combined with the summons to create the new Juror Questionnaire and Summons. Just log on and complete the form online, or fill in the questionnaire and mail it back. After all, it's better to be here than in jail.
Welcome back to this Western Lakes Junior Football League contest here, brought to you by Omni Edition Sports. The Stallions of Northville have bolted out to a 24-0 lead, and Grant Hood, the excellent kicker for the Stallions, is going to put a hoof to this and kick it. It's going to be taken inside the 20, across the 20, 25, over to the 30. Breaks a tackle at the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35. There's a race trying to get the angle. 20, 15, 10. Draw down the 4-yard line. What a wonderful way to start the third quarter for the Garden City Cougars.
Absolutely excellent. That was McDaniel. This time, instead of running around to try and find the football, Hood got it up in the air. Nice end-over-end kick, but it came right to the breadbasket of McDaniel, and that allowed him to really get things started, Ted. Then once he did, we'll see him right here. He breaks through this initial line right about there. That was Hood, the kicker, trying to bring him in, and here he goes. And rather than right here, it's time just to do what he did. Put your head up. Don't worry about Escada here, number 50. Matthew Escada, is closing in on him. And boy, to take it all that way and not be able to finish it, Ted, just,
well, I'd go back to the huddle and say, I don't know what the next 3 plays are, but I better get the ball. Tell the coach, you can call the rest of the game, but I get the next 3.
Well, that was just a prime example of going to school on that kicker. We've talked about Grant Hood for the Stallions, and that time he got it up, and before McDaniel was playing in too close on his kickoffs and wasn't getting a nice run. As the big man right there, Deese, goes rumbling and fumbling and stumbling forward.
And they're going to say he's short of the goal line.
There's a nice shot. That sideline camera is just a great vantage point right there, Ted. The sideline guy's right over the shoulder, right on the ball. There's the kicker, number 2, Hood, out there for the Stallions.
What I liked about that play, nothing fancy. They gave it to Deese. He ran through right behind the guard and the tackle, where he didn't even have to take any speed left or right, just power it right up the middle. And Deese is mentioning to quarterback Waynick that, hey, I'm back here in case you want to give it back to me.
Well, and the important thing of that, the last time Deese had the ball, he fumbled it. So it was real important as Waynick's going to call his own number, but he's going to be stacked up and driven back right there. A nice pitch there, and you figured that that was a perfect play call in a situation like that. I've been trying to implore them to spread that, get that defense spread out right there, and that was the first play of spreading out things, but the defenders closed on Waynick quickly.
Waynick put that ball on his thigh as he was going to follow number 12, Garcia, around the end. And basically, and then he cut inside, but 94 pounds at this site just didn't get him across the goal line.
Well, we're definitely in 4-down territory right here. The counter play, and that's going to be McDaniel stacked up. And that play right there, we have 6 Stallions on that one, Ted. And that tells you they have that formation figured out.
Every time they've run that play, yeah.
Yeah, they're starting to really close in on that one. And now we had the ball has been pushed back to the 5-yard line. And this brings up a big 4th down.
And they're going to kick a field goal there. Number 7 is, they brought the little T out, Chase McGrew.
I think he's the holder. I think 83 is going to be the kicker, Nicholas Janice.
They brought that little pad that they put the ball down on.
It's got a number 50.
They're going to have to call a time. Oh, okay, now they've set the ball. I thought they might have to call a timeout.
We saw about a 40-yarder in that first quarter, the very first scoring opportunity for the Cougars, and it was missed.
Good.
Nice.
22-yard field goal, and Garden City gets on the scoreboard 24-3. But the disappointment is the ball was 1st and goal at the 4. They got the ball just outside the goal line, and then they tried to get fancy. And, you got big number 45 back there. Run him up the gut, run him out the tackle. He's a load. Just to stop him is a load, and missed opportunity. So a great run by McDaniel on the kickoff, and Garden City, there's the kickoff, nice high end and over end, and it's good.
Well, a kick like that right there, the officials are instructed, even if it's close, to give it to them because of style points.
Oh, it's not the way. Regular field goal is 3. At this age, maybe it should be 5 or something.
Well, absolutely, especially when it's end over end like that. Just a beautiful technique on the ball. Did Janice? He stayed down on it and brought up a big kick right there. And you see that that's a weapon. Kicker, we've seen the Stallions use theirs as a weapon, and now Garden City with a rare field goal at this particular level of football.
The kickoff is going to be deep. It's going to be taken 15, 20, kicks it outside, goes inside the 20 again, comes back, and he's surrounded about the 21-yard line.
That's Cooper Leverton with the ball. Leverton did a nice job right there, but he got hemmed in down at the 20-yard line. Tried to stiff arm. The first Cougar defender held him off, and then a host of them brought him down. So now 24-3, Ted. We still have the helmets over in purgatory. As we see this one right here is Leverton. Now he's got himself squared up. He tries to go outside, and right here, there was the first stiff arm. Slowed him right down, and number 25 right there really made a sure tackle right around the waist. That was Jack Turnbull. All 135 pounds of him grabbed Leverton right around the waist and brought him down.
Well, the Stallions get the ball for the first time with 8:51 on the clock, and the ball is between the 20 and the 25, about the 22 and a half. Talking to Mr. Nick Janice, a little personal note, if you watch this game, Nick, the varsity football kicker for Garden City the last couple of weeks has been a girl from the soccer team. So if you're coming to the high school next year with a little practice all summer, you might earn that varsity letter as a freshman.
Well, we see that there was an article in the paper about Allen Park. The Allen Park team's kicker is a girl also out there kicking the field goals. So there's our players off to the side.
Garden City, I think that was the first time a female has scored a point for the varsity football team. She scored 3 2 weeks ago against Clarenceville.
Look at some of the players that are over there. Number 26, Rodriguez, has 2 touchdowns on the day, an 85 and a 45-yarder. There's our crowd here. It's always greatly attended, these games, Ted. We like to see the parents and their relatives and just plain football fans come up here, Ted, and they are always here to show up and root on the Cougars. And beautiful day, been blessed with a beautiful day. We got some fall color going on in the background, but always a great turnout for these games, these Western Lakes.
You know, you were kidding, but I'm not certain that, well, there's number 3. I thought Hood was over there. But number 3 comes out back. But the Stallions are ready to go. Power I turns around, hands off. Nice big gap, falls forward to the 25. Number 15 is quarterbacking now for Tyler Voss. And he started the game, and he's been in and out. A couple of the Williams boys have been,
Well, I'd have had number 50, Matt Escada, over there on the purgatory. He has been on both sides of the ball. He's been a dominant force for these Mustangs.
With these orange helmets, it looks like 8 guys and 8 pumpkins over there. Voss calling the signals. 2nd down for the Stallions here in the 3rd quarter. Hands it off to the deep back. He makes contact, and then he's swallowed up for a loss.
It was Mitch DeGroff right there, and he was coming for him from the flanker position right there, or the split halfback position, and he just couldn't get going. The first great penetration by that defensive line. A lot of things start, begin, and end right with that defensive line play, Ted. You know, it's real important for the Cougars to be real strong right there and control that defensive line, and they can get back into this game. They're only 3 scores down, 3 touchdowns, that is.
Same formation, Boss under center.
A couple players looking to get back in the action.
And the whistle, probably too much time or illegal procedure. Let's talk to the guy in the white hat.
Dead ball. False start.
False start, so that'll be 5.
5-yard
Great
penalty.
opportunity now
Still 3rd
presents
down.
itself to the Cougars, as it's going to be 3rd down and close to 15. And if they can stop them right here, force a punt, they'll get the ball back. And
there's number 50, Escada. They finally got him over there. I saw the kicker Hood over there.
They sent the kicker over there?
At one point he was over there. I don't know if it's a rotating group of 8 or not. Or maybe he was just over there chumming it up.
Power I to this side, hand out to the front guy. He breaks it. The little guy, smallest fullback I've ever seen. He comes across the 30. Number 30, Rathwell, Jack.
That was a big gainer right there, and that's going to bring up 4th down, 4th and about 5. And we see Rathwell's going to be coming right at you. Right there, the big tackle by Deese. Deese did a great job bringing him down, or he was getting ready to break off another long one for these Stallions. They've had 3 of them today. An 85, a 45-yarder, and a 66-yard touchdown pass.
Hood comes into the game. He counts, makes sure he gets up to 11 protection. He's backing out now. He's going to be standing on the 21-yard line. The ball's hiked high, picked up at the 18 and kicked. Nice kick, gets it out deep, hits it to 40, and it's going to kind of take a neutral roll and drop it to 39, but nice kick from the 18-yard line, drops all the way to the 39. So,
well, that was Garcia down there, number 12, as a deep back for the Cougars, Ted. And I got to tell you, if you're coaching, you want to point that out in the game film right there. Get away from that football.
That one was just hobbling around. It had no roll to it. It was just bouncing around crazy.
Absolutely, and you know, we see Garcia was within a yard or two of that football at all times, and the punt defense team was coming down on them. So, you know, you want to stay clear of that football. You know, the idea is to keep it in front of you, and then once it bounces like that, and it can be a knuckle effect, get out of the way.
Well, it went 43 yards in the air from where he made contact at the 18, so nice punt. Veer formation, Garden City coming out. He still has the ball. He looked like somebody forgot to take the handoff, and he said, oh, I guess I got to look at it.
We're going to go back to that punt for a second here, Ted, and look at that right there. That was the first thing. He's just too close to the football. If you're not going to catch it, get out of the way. You see that ball just barely missed him, and it would have been... Oh. And I guess there was a big throwdown on that play that we missed, because I was talking too much about coaching them up.
Quarterback keeps the ball. He's still on his feet. He gets first down. Did he keep the ball 10? Waynick, the last two plays he's kept it. At both times it looked to me like he wanted to get it down, and he's knocked down, and I think the wind's out of him over there at the 42, but we'll see. He's still laying there.
Well, he did like a Gale Sayers routine. He did a high step. Now watch him when he gets going right about there. He does a little high step routine and then turns it up, and here we go. Let's see what we can see at the end of this play, as he was brought down hard on a big tackle over there by Leverton. Leverton was one of the players, and Nick Gattoni was over there also. Double teamed Waynick when they brought him down. And Waynick knew immediately, he signaled immediately that he needed some help over there. Got the coach.
Is that McGraw? Is he the backup quarterback? He's standing. Well, they're all kneeling down. There's the cheerleaders, and all the players kneel down whenever a play is hurt. And they're tending to Waynick. Waynick has run the ball twice now and picked up good yardage as this series started at the 39. The ball now is 1st and 10 at the 44. These are the games that haven't played. The results here: Eagles from Livonia, they lost. They lost to the Falcons. Put a hurting on the Gators, Multi-Lake Gators, and if we can eliminate Livonia, we'd be looking good.
Absolutely, and it's those Gators are always dangerous. You know, whether they're from the Florida Gators or the Multi-Lakes Gators, you know, they're always dangerous, and Garden City took care of them. So this is a big game against Northville right here. You know, the season's on the line, you know, of where you're going to finish, and there's the first result of Waynick not being in. It's a broken play.
McGrew says, I can run, and he gets good yardage as he crosses over the 40 down to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, and that was a clear example of a switch of quarterback right there, as Hunter Waynick has his helmet off. He's walking around on the sidelines, but he doesn't look like he's coming in anytime soon, Ted. As he picks up a Gatorade bottle and slams one down and getting himself back together again. So Chase McGraw is now the quarterback, and that's part of the rules anyway, that there has to be a change at quarterback, and so McGraw's in. His first play was, he wasn't quite ready for it, so let's see how he does here.
And this time he wanted to pitch it, and the ball fell out of his hands, and so the quarterbacks have kept the ball the last 4 plays for Garden City. You know, Waynick, he's still on the sidelines. He's picking up his helmet. Now he's ready.
Yeah, they're going to let McGraw, you know, right here. This is going to be 3rd down and 8. I guess the main thing is right now is not to put the ball on the ground. 3:29 to go here in this 3rd quarter, 24-3. Garden City on the losing end of that score.
And we have somebody moved, and Garden City.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Joshua Walbom has been in the backfield here for this series.
Well, you alluded to it early on, Ted. It looks like him and Deese are changing positions from right tackle to running back.
Right.
And that's an unusual flip-flop. But we'll find Deese probably when Walbaum's in the backfield like he is now, then we'd probably see Deese down there at right tackle.
Hands it off to the second back. Walbom. Is that Walbom throwing? McDaniels. And that was a counter play that you have noticed that the Stallions have read that play and read that play and read that play, and that time they broke it.
Well, exactly, and I think they changed the formation up a little bit. I think what they did, instead of running to the runner's left, they actually came back to the right, and this time McDaniel just used his athletic ability, and there he is running it. Remember when he had the kickoff and he took it back and he was worried about getting in the end zone? This time he set his eyes, to the end zone and ran there. Didn't worry about anybody trying to close in on him.
They're going to go for 2 here. Ball's down. Line drive. And it's good. It would be nice if the referee in the back there was standing right by the goalpost would move his arms.
Well, exactly. I guess we'll take that as business as usual call.
Yeah, whatever he looks like he looks at the referee, whatever you say it is.
I'll let you know if he missed it. Other than that, it's good. We had battle of 2 great kickers this afternoon right here.
Well, what a
Janice
turn.
For Garden City and Grant Hood for the Stallions. Nice panoramic shot right there of Garden City, the stands, the field. What a gorgeous day.
24-11.
Picking up some snacks right there. There's all kinds. They got the snow cone machine in the background. Nothing like a snow cone on a day like this. I thought I was promised a snow cone today. So the score on our scoreboard is yet to change, but it is 24 for Northville and 11 for Garden City. Garden City's scores have come by field goal, a 2-point conversion kick, and of course the 45-yard run right there by McDaniel. And here's Escada.
Escada comes across the 45, 40, 35, and the Lonesome Helmet boys are back in. And Escada picked that one up at the 45, ran it across the formation, gets inside the 35-yard line down close to the 30, and Northville is in business here, as it's been all Garden City here in the 3rd quarter. If they've scored 11.
Well, they definitely took advantage of the 8 players in purgatory. We talked about that. When another team gets up by 18 or more points, then it's up to the team that's behind to set off players. And here we go as see a little bit of deep action, and you see Escada going down that sideline over there, and he is a load once he gets going, sheds a tackler there.
Derek Vanderwater runs in to get into the play as Northville has the ball and getting big yardage over the left side of the formation. Close to the 1st down, pickup of 9.
That was a fake end around right there as they pitched the ball to Williams coming to his left. They brought the wide receiver in motion. They faked the handoff to him, and Williams showed a burst of speed, got around the corner, picked up a nice 9 yards on 1st down.
And Garden City needs to make a stop here as Northville is in 4th down territory at the 22-yard line. Big number 81, Joey Bahu's the center. He's ready to snap the ball. Williams should be the, and is. Pitches it back, number 50 coming across. He's being dragged down right at the 20.
That was Castagne. Jay Castonia got a hold of big number 50
Scott.
there, Scotta, and did a nice sure tackle right there and brought him down. This is a big set of downs right now for both teams. Right now, the Stallions, of course, are trying to add to their lead. They're up 24-11, and the Cougars is real important right here, Ted, for the Cougars to stop them, take over on downs, and/or force a turnover.
Escato did a great job of running, picking up a couple yards. Williams under center again. First man through with the ball. He's pushing inside the 15. Huge surge by that offensive line.
Stathakis, you know, that was Alex Stathakis, number 6, first man through. Normally in that power I formation, Ted, you're thinking that the back, you know, the deep back is going to bring it in, but in that case it was the quick hitter, and a real valuable first down for the Stallions, as this third quarter is going to come to an end here in about 30 seconds. There's Stathakis. He's
Stathakis is off into the end zone as he cuts right up the middle, broke to his left, and there was nobody home. And touchdown to answer the Garden City touchdown as it becomes 30-11.
Well, once again, they went back to the well the second time, Ted, on the quick hitter. Right there, the ball's in, and he's past that initial on-charging line of scrimmage. And then once he gets out to the corner here, he is waltzing into the end zone. It was a 21-yard run. That's actually the shortest touchdown run of the day for the Stallions.
That put just on the touchdown plays alone. Northville, there's a rolling hike, and the ball is good. So that's the fourth two-point conversion. It's 32-11. But just on the touchdown plays alone, Northville's got over 200 yards in total offense.
Yeah, they absolutely. They've really stung Garden City with the big play today. The 85-yarder by Rodriguez got him on the board in the first quarter, and then the 66-yard touchdown pass widened the lead. And then before Garden City could get on the board, there was a 45-yard touchdown run. So it was 24-0, and then Garden City was able to get on the scoreboard in the third quarter with a field goal, and then they had the touchdown of their own, a nice 45-yard run by McDaniel, and the two-point kick was converted.
Okay, we got in corporate graphics up on your screen. Make sure you stop by there. Jim will take care of you over there. He's got some great product. Omni Edition uses their product. I know the high school goes over there for a lot of their material. As Hood kicks the ball off, and
well, they've got a website too, Ted. You see that on there, and corporate graphics website, and phone number right here in Garden City. You can get a Garden City West t-shirt. You just can't find those just anywhere. You're not going to go to Kmart or Save More, you know.
And as my wife would tell me, Garden City West is the only t-shirt to buy. They sell another t-shirt over there, but she recommends that I stay away from that one. And I don't know, remember Tigers or something, Garden City Easter or something. I don't know what it is, but
well, yeah, exactly. But you know the good one is West.
Garden City West.
Go West, young man,
West is
and
good.
put on the West t-shirt, and you're in styling right there. In corporate graphics.
Two of the greatest people I know, my wife and Dan York.
During the return,
maybe not in that order,
holding
but,
on the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So we have a
First
penalty,
down.
and this is going to mark this ball back. And Garden City cannot, at this point in the game, afford to shoot themselves in the foot, and they just did. So this will take the field position from close to midfield all the way back inside the 25 at the 24.5. And let's see, number 10 or 7 is under center here.
And Waynick was ready to come back in.
Handoff going wide, stumbles across the 20-yard line. Number 7 is back in the game. McGraw.
That's the end of the third
Chase
quarter.
McGraw. And that play represents the end of the third quarter, and Garden City, for most of the quarter, owned the football field, but they scored the first 11 points. But then they gave up a quick 8 at the end of the quarter, and they still trail now 32-11.
Yeah, 32-11. Garden City came back. This game is a lot closer than that score would indicate, Ted. First of all, it's been the big play of the Stallions coming in here. An 85-yard run, 45-yard run, and then a 66-yard pass. And then the short one was 21 yards. So they really used that big play to their advantage this afternoon. And, you know, a lot of times when you have that, it isn't like they're grinding out against the Cougars, you know, and really, you know, pounding the Cougars. They've just really taken advantage of some big plays, and that's where they're sitting on this 32-11 lead. Garden City, like you said, came back in that third quarter and did a really nice job of getting this game close, and then just fell asleep a little bit on that 21-yard running play, and now they find themselves down by 3 scores.
You know, there's the results the Stallions have had this year. The Walled Lake Braves, they beat. The Novi Bobcats, they lost to. And then my grandson's team, the Livonia Orioles, they beat my grandson. I'm going to have to talk to him about that. The Commerce Chargers.
McDaniel.
And he's got a big game for a first down.
David McDaniel has just really had a great game carrying the ball today, Ted. He's got a 45-yard touchdown run, and then we saw that giant kick return. And that might be the turning point of this game. That giant kick return he had to open up the third quarter, got all the way down to the 4-yard line, and Garden City was unable to capitalize with a touchdown.
You know, we just did a little promo for Corporate Graphics, and I'm looking at you, and I think this is the first time, Phil, that you and I have had matching in Corporate Graphics T-shirts, shirts on for Omni Edition Sports here.
Well, we're well coffered. They keep panning up here as Deese is trying to get some big bouncing people
and
off.
And he bounces off one, bounces off a bounce.
Does a tiptoe routine down that sideline right there. You know, you haven't seen anything of that delicate since Nureyev retired. Was that Rudolph Nureyev, that ballerina?
I tell you, he reminds me more of Larry Zonka than Nureyev.
Well, you know, when Nureyev, with the tiptoe routine right here, and we've got right there a little stutter step, and then
number 44, McGrath.
Maybe since one of the Wallindas walked across the Niagara Falls on the tightrope, we saw the action right there by Deese. He did a great job to pick up the first down.
Mitch DeGroff, 44, was the one that finally knocked him out of bounds. And Deese is still fighting for territory. He bounces off another one, 30, 25, down to the 20, cuts inside, but knocks a couple of players down, looking like Bo Jackson knocking players down left and right. And you run this guy in between the tackles, he's going to get positive yardage.
Right, and that's right there when he is probably a little mismatched with the quicker linebackers. That way he got his big size going and out there against those safeties and defensive backs, Ted, and he's going to be really hard for them to bring down. So exactly right, we've got to get him past the line of scrimmage and then get him into that secondary, and he's going to be very dangerous.
He's back there, tailback, lone back in the backfield, and they're going to pass. They throw a lateral out to this side, and that's a lateral and a fumble, and it goes out of bounds. And that ball is going to be placed at the 27-yard line. If you don't catch one, I mean, that's the old Woody Hayes thing. 3 things that can happen on a pass, and 2 of them are bad.
Well, you're exactly right. That was a loss of 12 yards. They had the ball first and 10 at the 15, and then right there, and just simply got by Genesi, and no chance to recover for Genesi. As quickly as he tried, it still bounced out of bounds, and a big loss. A 12-yard loss on that play, so that's going to bring up second down and 27, Ted.
Chase McGraw.
Or second down and 22.
Quarterbacking. He's back to pass again. Arches one up in the air, and it's caught, and fighting for every yard he could. Down to the inside the 5.
That's McDaniel right there. Did a great job. First of all, he did a great job of reeling that one in. He's been an offensive force for the Cougars today. He reeled that one in, Ted. And you know, after he got denied that touchdown on that kick return right there, he has nothing more than to see that goal line, and that's what he did. He got in there. The officials just weren't really right on top of that when they were making the call from the 20-yard line, and they caught him about a yard short. Bring up 1st and goal.
Timeout.
And we got a timeout.
That's the first timeout in the second half.
That's the second time that I can remember we've seen McDaniel on the receiving end of a nice pass and, you know, reeled it in. He's got size down there. The quarterback actually double pumped, did McGraw double pumped and then saw him. And he really, McDaniel is a great target down there, and he's got some great hands.
He's a big kid, big, tall kid.
And, of course, the chicken dance, a staple at any event. Anytime I think you have more than 3 people gathered, you're required to play the chicken dance.
You're 100% right. I noticed when I went to the pre-production meeting here for Omni Edition, they were all doing the chicken dance in there. And
well, there was a law. It was the law.
Yeah,
The law was instituted right there. You had more than 3 people gathering. Chicken dance must be played. And, you know, it's great to see the fun down on the sidelines. They're having a great time right there. And, of course, you know, when you see the chicken dance, too, you got to be careful because a wedding could break out. Next thing you know, you're married.
no. I'm sure you agree with me.
I tried it. It was one of the roughest weeks of my life.
McGraw hands it off to the counterback, and he gets into the end zone.
Logan McMaster.
McMaster scores, and making it 30-17.
Yeah, nice job right there by McMaster, but I was calling for that in the first half to, you know, start trying to get the players out, and the coach has done a great job of, you know, doing some misdirections and trying to spread out that Stallion defense. They were, you know, they were bunching up in the box and stopping Garden City earlier. Now Garden City just spreading them out enough, and then the off-tackle plays to the big guys, either Walbom or number 45 Deese, are being really much more successful.
Janice, number 83, out of the quarterback's hold, plays the ball's down, it's kicked up in the air, end over end, and good. So a 2-point conversion, and the score now is 30-19, and the helmeted Purgatory boys put their helmets back on, and they're coming back out for Northville as Garden City will be kicking off here.
Well,
9:40, I think that's on the clock.
There's plenty of time left here by, you know, in this football game for Garden City to come back. And, you know, we've talked about the fact that Garden City now on the defensive side of the ball has to guard against the big play. You know, that they've really been in this football game, you know, is stay for a couple of those big plays, Ted. And if we can just kind of keep them in front of us for the next 9 minutes of this game, Garden City has a great opportunity to get back in it and maybe snatch victory from the jaws of defeat.
Janice puts the tee down on the 40. He's going to be kicking off from the north down to the south. If you're familiar with Garden City's field, Cambridge is on the north end, and Maplewood on the south.
Showing his big foot, and there's the onside kick.
Kick up in the air and taken by Northville. We have a scrum about the 47-yard line, and that's where Northville will put the ball in play. When that's hit up in the air, great opportunity for Garden City to steal it, but they couldn't capitalize.
Well, that was a terrific onside kick right there. And the key man on that one who got in behind the first line of defenders here as we watch the play, I think is number 28. Watch him right here to the outside. He's in behind the play right there. He had his opportunity, and I think he just lost sight of the ball for just a split second there, Ted. That was Jay Castengay that got in behind the defender, but I think he just lost sight of the ball for a second. Of great play. That was a great play call right there. And unfortunately, it was recovered by the Stallions. And now it's an opportunity for the defense to create a turnover, Ted.
Number 12, Michael Williams, quarterback, and hands it off. Big gaping hole right up the middle, and getting down inside of the 40-yard line. The Stallions on a great first down play.
Stathicus right there. Stathicus, we've seen him with a 20-yard run. He didn't really feature. He wasn't featured in the first half, Ted. And now here in the second half, we've seen a whole lot of number 6, Alex Stathicus.
Mike Williams, one of the 3 quarterbacks we've seen. We've seen 2 Williams and Voss quarterback the Stallions.
Tyler Voss started the game at quarterback for the Stallions. And then, like you said, it's been a host of Williams. The Williamses after that.
Pro set behind Williams. He's going to pass it. It's caught on the run by number 5. And he's still on his feet. A little pushing and shoving. Gets down to the 30. And not number 5. Who is that? Number 6.
Stathicus.
Stathicus caught that running.
Well, when that ball was thrown, it was a lateral, and by the time it actually got to him, that would have been an interesting call if that ball had fallen incomplete, because it was clearly thrown behind him, but then it just at the last second, the ball looked like it actually turned into a pass.
Magically. Williams still calling the signals. Got to get inside the 30 for the first down to the 28. He stands up. Now he's going to run with the ball. He stops, and he's in trouble. He's planted at the 35.
Yeah, Baylor Emerson, number 54, came from the right side and did a terrific job right there, as that ball really was mishandled, and he was the quarterback was very fortunate. Williams there he was to get his handle, get the handle back on the ball, but Emerson really, Baylor Emerson really drove him down. Here we go.
They're going to say his forward motion was a 34.
And you see right there, he loses the handle on it. Here comes Emerson, and right there, Williams tried to stop and get Emerson to overrun him, but Emerson was having no part of that.
Power I, one receiver this side of the formation, hands it off to the deep back, tries to shove him forward close to the 30. They got to get down to the 27 for the first down. That'll bring up 4th down. Garden City needs a stop right here.
Well, yeah, the clock is really starting to become an enemy now for the Cougars, and this is one of the longer drives that the Stallions have had. You know, if our statistician would add up the time of possession, I think it would be clearly in Garden City's favor, but this has been one of the longer drives by the Stallions, and now this is a big play in this football game.
Bahu, the center, going to snap it to Williams. Power I to the right of the formation. Hand off to the counterback, and he's caught in the backfield, and he's going to be dropped. Garden City going to take over the ball inside the 40 at the 39. A huge stop for Garden City as they trail 30-11, and they have the ball.
That was Jay Castongue. Yes, Castongue, he really did a terrific job right here. He breaks through, and he does a nice tackle. Look at him. He's got a hold of him, not letting go. There was a little extra forearm shiver thrown in there by number 48.
Just boys being boys. McGraw, number 7, still in a quarterback after the injury to the starting quarterback.
Could have been 44, Dylan Weathers. Of course, for number 48 is Lipinski, Nolan Lipinski. And what makes it difficult for us is they've put the players here for Garden City in alphabetical order. So the numbers, and then we look over to the Stallions roster, and they're all in numerical order. So sometimes it makes it a little difficult for us to get on them quick for you.
Hands off to the deep back, fighting for a few yards, gets across the 40, maybe up to the 41. Deese. What really makes it worse is you and I don't know our ABC, so.
Well, that's the basics right there, Ted. I mean, that's just I think the fans at home know that already.
Omni Edition Sports here. We got under 5 minutes left to this game. They've done a yeoman's job bringing you a couple football games. All the volunteers. This is still a game. Here's the pass. Little pushing and shoving going on. Then they're going to call no harm, no foul down at the 44-yard line of the Stallions.
Well, that was Nicholas Janice down there, and he was battling with Enzo Rodriguez, and there was quite a bit of battling going on when that ball was up in the air. Chase McGraw threw that one, probably got it up a little bit too much air underneath of it. It was wobbling just a little bit.
Deese in the backfield. McDaniel right off here on the right-hand side of your formation. He goes in motion. Hand off to pitch off to McDaniel. He's deep, gets across the 40 and falls forward to the 45. Let's see where his knee hit. And Northville guy, slow getting up. Number 2, was that Hood?
Yes, Grant Hood.
You don't want...
kicker extraordinaire there.
And look at this. All our Waynick fans, number 10 has come into the game.
Well, Garden City's got themselves now into a 4th and 7 on this one, Ted. Right there was a big play by McDaniel. You know, he is starting to show some real power out there on the run as we got Deese in the single back in the I formation right behind Waynick. And the pitch is
Deese is going to pass. He arches it up in the air. The ball is short and incomplete.
Jordan Garcia down there went up for it, and Rodriguez, you know, did everything but take his wallet.
Well, he gave him a physical, measured him for a suit, took his wallet, and
right, pulled the singles out of it and put it back.
Watch. Oh, you can't see the contact. And no call.
Well, it was one of the great non-calls of all time right there as Jordan Garcia's down, being attended to, and looks like he's going to get back up. And a little wobbly there. He's going to take a play or two off. Gets an attaboy from the coach. Well, Garden City on the day today. This has been a triple header, if you will, Ted. We're in the 3rd game here. This is the varsity game. The freshmen lost today, and then the JVs tried to make it exciting. They were down, it was 14-7 at one point with about 5 minutes to go, and both teams scored there, so Garden City had a shot in that game, and they're losing this one, so they're...
Well, you don't know. I'm not sure if they have a flag football team. Sometimes if both teams have flag football teams, that this whole thing starts at 9 o'clock. We have to ask Kevin. I don't know if he's done 4 games or 3 today over there at the field announcer. 3:53 on the clock. Northville's got the ball. They got the lead, and they're back to pass. It's Williams, number 8. He throws it away, and there's the flag. That would be called intentional grounding.
Well, and that was David McDaniel did a great job right there getting out on Williams, forced Williams out of the pocket, and then had some great closing speed on him. I think that the coaching job that'll go out on Williams right there is when he's out of the pocket like that until
there is no foul on the play for intentional grounding.
Basically call your own number. Because I think that he was still looking downfield and trying to get something launched. There's one of our great volunteers, Jeff Sorensen up there, a Wayne Stater.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier this year, and he's a warrior. He's not a Tartar, so I'm not sure I can really talk to him.
Well, that was what everybody wanted to know at home is Rodriguez now with the football, and we've seen him all day today, Ted.
And
Here he goes
he's loose again. He's got one man to beat. He looks at him, and he's going to waltz into the end zone. And that'll make it 38-19 and should put the icing on this cake.
Well, Enzo Rodriguez right there now has just in touchdown runs 173 yards in 3 touchdown runs, 85, 45, and then he puts a 44-yarder on there. we've seen impressive backs before, Ted, over the years at a variety of levels, and this young man obviously has to go to the top of the list, but I don't know that I could really qualify what he does so well.
He makes it look so easy. Look at how smooth his gait is, and he just looked at the safety and said, nope, goodbye.
The thing about him, he just seems to have a real awareness. Is here's another terrific, and a block, a big block, if you will.
3:19 on the clock, and it's 38-19.
But we were talking about Rodriguez, and you know what he seems to have is he has an eye for the end zone. That's the one thing that drives this young man, because we're not seeing him really overpower people. And right there, just a terrific block getting in. Looks like he got it right there on his elbow. He said that got him right in the funny bone, and the only thing funny about it is it was a missed kick.
Well, the line collapsed on the right side of the formation for Northville. Northville answering the last touchdown by Garden City.
Well, it's been a very highly entertaining football game. Garden City's had the overwhelming time of possession as they've had to really grind out and really work for everything that they've gotten today. I think getting shut out in that first half, Ted, was really what hurt them, because they've really gone on the offensive here in this second half, and time of possession is in their favor. But boy, the big plays have just come in bunches today for the Stallions.
There's McDaniel deep. He almost broke one to start this half. And they're not kicking it to him right there. He's got it.
Nice big bounce right up to him, and we see now officials are going to have to blow the whistle on this one, as they do, and finally gets a stop as he got an extra 3 or 4 yards, carrying some Stallions along with him.
Yeah, they won't blow the whistle until the pile momentum stops. If that pile keeps motioning, you can push that pile down the court. It's like a rugby scrum. They won't stop it. Here you'll see.
Well, that ball on the kickoff right there, it was kept low on the ground. Nice end-over-end kick right there. Took a high bounce. McDaniel was able to field it just over his helmet, and still had a good look at the field ahead of him and a nice head of steam. And Garden City's going to start at the 42-yard line in great field position.
Right.
They just haven't been able to really break off the big plays for touchdowns today. They've had a couple of big pass plays to McDaniel, a couple of big runs, a big kickoff return, but they just are being held out of the end zone, either by a mistake on their side or just by the Stallions themselves.
Well, I think one of the big plays was not being able to punch it in right at the start of the third quarter. There's McDaniel. He's got the ball. He's going wide on the left side. Gets across the 40, 50, 45, gets the first down, falls inside the 45 to the 43. He's got a lot of yardage, but the big thing is he was tackled at the 4, and Garden City got held out, had to settle for a field goal early here in the third quarter.
Well, and you talked about that as we see McDaniel right here. And, you know, he has right there, once he turns upfield like that, nice awareness, really able to pick his way through the blockers. He runs an awful lot like Rodriguez does.
Second, he runs again to play again, this time for shorter yardage down to the 40. Time is running out as we're under 2 minutes, $1:45 on the clock, and Garden City has to get some huge chunks of yardage very quick. Let's see if they go to the air here to finish this game off. McDaniel's been an outstanding receiver when he's got down the field. Veer formation, 2 receivers, man in motion, handed off coming this way. Across the 35, inside the 30, as it looks like Northville's got the second team in and the prevent defense going. So huge chunks of yardage, but they have to get in the end zone with 1:18 on the clock.
Well,
Time
there
out.
you go. That's right there,
City.
Chase McGraw. We've seen him play the quarterback, and he takes it right here. And now he gets a nice turn upfield, and right there, a nice tackle by number 44. As the Garden City's been unable to break tackles today. And then what happens is, as you see right there, usually the player gets a hand on him. Great job of coaching. Don't let go. So until some teammates can show up and finish him off, Mitch DeGroff there for the Stallions made a nice tackle. And there's another one of our great crew. They're high up on the scissor lift, Chris Pop. Chris doing a terrific job, bringing you some great scenes. The whole crew that we have here, Ted, is just phenomenal. They just do a great job. Everybody loves what they do. There's a lot of camaraderie. And, you know, if it's not the Harlem Shuffle or the Chicken Dance, you know, it's Jason Merrill down there on the sidelines. You know, he's just, the only thing he's missing down there, he's missing a gripper. Everybody wonders what a gripper is. Well, Jason Merrill was missing a gripper, Ted. That's right there. We're going to go to school and help the fans at home.
I'm thinking about hiring him away from Omni Edition. There's a pass down the field. Oh, right off the hands.
That was Genesi down there. He got kind of turned around a little bit, and then, of course, the big arm right there by Deese might have surprised him a little bit. He was wide open. He did get turned around a little bit and just kind of lost his balance, you know, mentally just for a second, and that's sometimes all it takes is that one falls incomplete.
It's second down. Second down.
Minute 10 on the clock.
And of course, the definition of the gripper, of course, is the one that carries the cable for the.
Well, I get a credit. I did an errand for Omni Edition, so I get a best boy.
Best boy.
Best boy credit before the end of the.
Well, you know, I've been down there as a gripper at one time, and of course the other one is the gaff, and there's a gaff right there, and that gaff is going to result in a turnover as another Rodriguez comes up with that one. That one's Dominic Rodriguez, and boy, they just ran into each other back there, Ted, and you know, you're not going to go too far. You know, a lot of these plays are a matter of timing and position, and right here we're going to see as it was going to be a double reverse, and at that point you would think that the second back would actually be outside of the first back, and they ran just right into each other.
What the king of segues there. Speaking about gap, where's the gap? I'm proud of you there, Phil.
Well, thank you, Ted. Every once in a while, see, the fans had to watch this whole entire game until a minute and 2 seconds to go to get my one best line of the whole day.
Leave them wanting. Well, Northville's got the ball. There's 50 seconds on the clock. It's been an exciting game. Lots of points here. We've actually had 57 points scored in this game. Northville scoring on quick, long plays. Garden City forced to drive the field, giving up the big plays, and that's their downfall. As this game is going to come to the end. Timeout, 31-6. And if you're Garden City and you got 4 more games to play, what do you look forward to here, Phil?
Well, I think there were some real encouraging signs on the offensive side of the football, and I think sometimes you've got to watch the game film and find out what's working and what isn't working, and just kind of go back to the old bread and butter. We saw it down there when David McDaniel took that long kickoff return. We were turning that as a turning point in this game. He couldn't get in. The first play, you hit your back. You know, and the second play, they got away from that. I think 2 or 3 plays of Big John Deese or Walbum down there, Joshua Walbum, would have gotten that ball into the end zone.
Well, I like Deese running in between the tackles. You've got 21 McDaniels that can run around either end, and Deese is a bruiser. You got to run him up the middle and get the tough yards, and you know, if you do that repeatedly, all of a sudden that line gets hit and hit and hit and hit. And there you see in the bottom, check out all the people that work on these production. Michael Collins, straight from
Zach King and Christian Gibbons, the main man, and of course Jason Merrill.
Soon to be a Grosse Seal cameraman, Jeff Sorensen.
Sorensen, absolutely.
Wayne Stater.
There's
Chris Pop.
Yep, Chris Pop up on the scissor lift. Jake Mahan brought some fabulous replays in today, you know, really helps us out. The gripper, there was no gripper, as you see. Best boy could have been Ted Fournier. And, of course, the gaff was the play where they ran into each other on the end around. So.
All under the able direction of the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Daniel, class of '82, Garden City West, York.
Well, that's going to wrap this one up here, Ted, right there as they go into the
they let the clock wear out as we were
the
talking.
celebratory handshakes at the end of the game. Both teams are going to go off into their huddles, and they're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this one right here goes into the books as a loss for the Cougars. I felt like a couple of plays here, there, and this could have been a lot closer game than what we saw. Definitely the big play of the Stallions, really hurt the Cougars today. There was a lot of positives to take from this game if you're a Garden City Cougar fan, and we are. There was a lot of good things to take, Ted.
For Phil Henry, I'm Ted Fournier. Hope you enjoyed this Omni Edition sports program. Stay tuned. Watch many more sports programs throughout the year. Your final score of the Northville Stallions, 38. Your Garden City Cougars, 19. We'll see you next time on Omni Edition Sports. Good night.